Mm. I think the Zohar is answering it. Is there any, you know, is there any value to the seed of the wheat? What is more important, the seed of the wheat or everything, the bread and the cakes and the food that you can make out of it? So you can say that existence is a seed of something. It's, and if the seed is being preserved as a seed, it's actually not fulfilling its opportunities and its possibilities.
So it
So
has
this
to,
is what you're asking.
yeah.
Our corporeal existence is only raw material. Does raw material has its value? Yes, but it gains its value from the use of it. But in itself, it goes through many processes that has nothing to do with what actually could come out of it, could be revealed through it, through the true use of it. It does not reveal everything that is being sort of um, concealed in it. So actually, the place of humanity is to reveal what is how to use its existence in order to reveal the marvel of its spirit.
Right? Which comes back
So
to the
this is the value of our corporeal life, our corporeal existence.
then
But you can take clay and do some balls with it, or you can create the most wonderful sculpture out of it.
so I mean not that one gives like a grade, A, B, C, D, or highest level versus middle level. But I mean, essentially, is there something to that? Meaning, well, I'll ask it two ways. One is, does anything we do intertwine with the spiritual, or it's really just seed? It's this is always here, and that's always here, or is it only left, or is it
Well,
only
it will intertwine forcibly because forcibly, if we will not make out of this clay, out of this seed, something, the forces will make it, and it will be through suffering. So something will do it. Being human is being part of its exploration, expression, and art,
but if
of creating it. So yes, you know, if you allow time and pressure, even I don't know, even coal will turn into a diamond.
okay, I think it's not the same.
It is the
um,
same
no, what
because
I
it
mean,
needs to be a diamond.
I
Now,
mean, does one nurture one's own work then in that way? I'm speaking about the two kinds of work, but I'm asking whether they,
what kind of two works? There's only one work.
I
The fact that
understand.
we call um,
Yeah,
our aspiration or the will to receive to oneself what we do in order to get to support our existence. This is not called work.
what is that?
Toil.
Okay, so I mean, can't we? It doesn't. Sometimes it's suffering, but not really. It's joyous also. I mean,
Yeah, I don't think it's only suffering. Of course, the will
but
to
it
receive to
is a
oneself.
building. It's a
If there's
building
no
point.
no, if
Yes.
there's no awakening, of course there is, and there is a lot of satisfaction and ambitions that are being at play.
Okay.
So um, it's a question of whether you tasted real light or not.
Okay.
It's
So
a question of comparison. What you're doing now is comparison. No, what I'm saying,
I'm not
if
trying to compare it. I'm asking how does it enter? Maybe it's hopeful, wishful. Maybe this is some kind of prayer, to build on these things. But
mm,
I guess I'm saying, we toil so hard. I'll use your word. Is it a different word in Hebrew? toil versus work.
Yeah, amal and avoda.
And avoda is,
Avoda is work.
yeah,
Okay. It's
yeah,
actually
I figured. Okay.
avoda in Hebrew is actually the way we sort out and express God.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Okay. So
but I think
there is a difference, but of course there is some there is always some relation because by its relation from above to below. When we're speaking about work, we're speaking about participation of the low towards the higher, or the low towards above. So it's two different. Then we start to speak about work.
mm-hmm.
But of course, even the last point of creation has meaning to the plan. Okay? But
So ambition in our work in Kabbalah,
hmm,
um, I think maybe I'm hearing sometimes has a portion that is fed through our toil. Yes? Maybe?
yeah,
No?
yes, it could. Usually, what we do, we we import our ambitions,
Mm.
our will to receive ambitions into the spiritual work, and then we have to sort it out. So actually, ambition can turn into devotion,
Is
but it need to
devotion
turn.
positive or negative?
It need to go through this transformation. But this is exactly what I'm saying. It's a
Okay,
raw
I think I
material
understand.
that is being transformed into a work of art.
Okay, so there's no reason to abandon our toil, but to
You
be
can't.
aware of,
You can't.
well,
You
maybe
can't
you can. I mean, if we
if you
were
have a
in,
good inheritance.
that exactly was the point I was.
So if you have it, you can.
Or we join the yeshiva because and we pack up and we
No,
wear the same clothes and that's it. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not trying to joke. I'm just saying
No, if you
in
wish
some
to
cases,
dedicate, meaning if you wish to dedicate your life to study, you cannot actually sort of separate yourself from the corporeal existence,
yeah.
because part of what we're saying, what our Kabbalist has been teaching us, that going out, being involved within the corporeal, is in order to understand the plight of the divine. Yeah, because all humanity comprise the body of the divine. If we don't go out and see the plight, this is why Moshe is going out to see the plight of his people in order to be included. Then the sorting out of his identity starts, not before that. So we cannot say, okay, you've got a good inheritance you can dedicate, but you cannot separate yourself from the toil and suffering of those parts of divinity which are still in exile.
So seeking through other places as well as work we do wherever, I mean, pardon, toil, the daily work, uh,
Mm-hmm.
is necessary in what you're saying.
Yes,
At the
it is.
Kabbalah, okay, all right, all right.
Because you
I'm
cannot
feeling
actually
slightly better.
understand, you cannot understand the transformation of a formation if you don't have those two
Yeah.
sides.
Okay. All right. To be continued.